Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Melissa. I'm the owner and artist here at the Top Drawer RVA, located in Richmond, Virginia. For today's project, we're going to do the same piece two ways. To begin with, we're going to paint it in wood color for a very simple finish, and then we're going to stage it and show the final result. Afterwards, we're going to add a Dixie Belle transfer and show you what you can do with just a little bit more flair. This wood secretary had seen better days. Scratches, gouges, names carved into it, all of the things all over the place. After a great clean with White Lightning, I came in with my Surf Prep sander to get out some of those really deep scratches. For the chips in the veneer that I could not fix with my sander, I used Dixie Belle's mud. This is Dixie Belle's mud in white. It's a very soft, moldable kind of a paste that you can put in to fill in any edges or cracks in your veneer. Apply this, wait until it's fully dry, and sand back to flat. This way you can paint right over top of it. I really like to use this product, especially when filling any hardware holes, because when you sand it, you can get it back to so super flat, you can't even see the marks underneath. I needed to remove the name that was carved into this piece. Let's call this cute little secretary Daisy, because I found that name carved at least 3 different times into the wood on this project. My Surf Prep sander is a well-used and well-needed tool. Since I paint and work inside my own home, in my dining room turned studio, I need to make sure that I'm not going to have any sanding dust flying around. So since this is hooked up to my shop vac, it is a great tool. After giving this a nice scuff sand before paint, I noticed that there was a couple small holes that needed a little bit more filler. I added a touch of the white mud to the sides of the piece. Again, once it's dry, I'll sand it back completely flat. Okay, so now my friend Daisy has been sanded off. I found her name 3 times scratched into this piece, once here and twice inside. Kids be crazy like that. So I am ready to do some paint, and this project is going to be a little bit different than some of the other ones because we are going to do this project 2 ways. One piece, 2 ways, and I'm going to show you how to paint it simple with silk and all in one color, keeping it plain and simple and great for the beginners. Then we're going to hold up, rewind, and put all of the things on here because I have something new to show you today. Okay, are you ready to see the brand new thing that I'm going to be putting on this piece? Because like I said, this video is going to be like a 2-part series. One beautiful plain color, put the hardware back on, take some gorgeous pictures, and then take the hardware off and start all over again. And we're going to do that with a brand new product from the Bells and Whistles line. They carry some gorgeous transfers, and this one is a brand new transfer from Dixie Belle Bells and Whistles. So what is a Dixie Belle Bells and Whistles transfer, you say? Well, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you all of the steps. It's actually a really easy way to add decor and flair to any project. I put this on home decor, I've put this on planters, I've put this on furniture. I've kind of done all the things with transfers. I really, really like using them. So my plan is the one color finish, put the hardware back on, take some gorgeous pictures, show you how simple it is to just update your furniture with a little bit of furniture paint. Then we are going to be adding this beautiful new Bohemian Dream transfer, brand new from the Dixie Belle paint line. And I really like this. I'm kind of pumped and excited because it's very Mediterranean. I'm gonna flip it over and show you. There's 4 sheets inside, and each 4 sheet contains a different amount of transfer. My plan is to cut them up and put them straight across the drawers, giving this piece a boho flair. So stay tuned. 1 piece, 2 ways. All right, let's begin. We are going to start by painting this piece in one simple color. This color is called Cactus from the Silk All-in-One Mineral Paint line. So I have chosen the color for this piece and it is going to be fabulous. This is one of my most favorite colors from the Silk Paint line. This is Cactus. Cactus is a gorgeous kind of boho green. I think that it's really going to kind of mute this piece because this is kind of like a bold piece, right? It's got those scary claw feet with the ball and it drops down in the front and the hardware is gold. So I want to kind of like minimize the style. And in order to minimize the style and make it fit in any space or anybody's home, using a nice neutral color like Cactus, which always turns out beautifully, is going to be the perfect choice. The other reason that I chose Silk All-in-One Mineral Paint is because of the bleed through. Did you see how dirty those rags were? Ew, ew. I cleaned this piece 100% with White Lightning, and when I was cleaning it, I could see kind of like a red tinge that was left on all of my rags when I was cleaning. What does that mean? That means that tannins are leaching through and bleeding through the wood. And when that happens, you might have bleed through come through your actual paint finish. And I want to totally not have that not happen. I want to minimize the chances of any bleed through happening. So in order to do that, using Silk All-in-One Mineral Paint with that built-in top coat and built-in primer will seal the deal, and it will look like $1,000,000 with zero bleed through. Make sure to shake and stir your paint very well before you begin. You don't want that sediment to sit at the bottom. Since this is an all-in-one paint, it is 3 products in one: your primer, your paint, and your top coat. When applying my Silk All-in-One Mineral Paint, I really like to use a smooth synthetic brush. You can use the Scarlet, which is by far my favorite. It fits right in that 16-ounce jar, or any synthetic brush from Dixie Belle. You'll find that this color Cactus actually covers quite well. This is just the first coat. You will wait approximately 2 to 4 hours for this first coat to dry and then come in and apply the second. This paint actually has a self-leveling property to it as well. So the first coat's gonna look a tiny bit patchy, but when you apply that second coat, it is going to self-level and become super smooth. It also dries with a beautiful satin finish. I often get asked when I use Silk paint if I have sprayed this paint. Personally, I don't spray any of my paint products. I do it all by hand, by my lonesome little self, hanging out in my studio. I really do think though that Silk self-levels so well that it looks like a sprayed finish. And since this paint dries a little bit differently than regular chalk mineral paint, I do like to work in sections. So I'll work on one entire drawer, move on to the next. Again, repeating the process until I cover the whole piece. Also, this piece is red wood. You can really see the red kind of coming through with the tannins. So using a stain blocking paint like this with your built-in primer is a good idea. Here's me just sanding off that corner where it was really missing a lot of veneer. You'll see how flat I can get that Dixie Belle mud. It honestly, you're not even gonna be able to tell that it was there. It honestly looks like nothing. There was no chips at all. So sand it nice and smooth. It really depends on what grit you like for sandpaper. I always have people asking me about sandpaper, but I legit just pick up whatever is on the floor closest to me when I'm working. I also made sure to use my Big Mama's butter on the interior of this piece where the wood on wood drawer glides slide to help them be gliding just a little bit smoother. So I decided with the secretary to paint the piece that folds down. It had a lot of wear and tear, and I just felt like it's going to blend in a lot better if that piece itself was painted. So I painted the top of the desk. What I did not want to do was paint all of those tiny cubbies. So I just painted the small door where that big carving was on the top. This is going to hide any repairs that I did and make the wood look matchy-matchy. coming in after that first coat has dried and working on the second coat. This project can be done totally in one day if you can get your mud dry enough before you begin. So let's talk about that section that I didn't want to paint. The wood is in good condition, it's just a little worn in certain areas. I'm going to use my Howdy Do hemp oil to kind of condition that wood, refresh it, and give it a little bit of a shine. Hemp oil is fabulous for sealing your painted projects as well. I do this often, but remember, we're going to be adding a transfer after we're completely finished to the front of this piece. So you don't want any residual oils or wax where you're going to be applying any Dixie Belle transfers. So I only applied the hemp oil on the applicator pad to the wood that was inside the cubbies. That's it, only that spot. Again, this is all the same day. You can see me wearing that same striped shirt. I put the hardware back on and we are going to finish up with touching the balls of the feet. This piece has some really cool feet on it. It's the ball and claw feet that you see on kind of that early mid-century look on furniture, and I really like that look. So I'm going to highlight them with a little bit of gold Dixie Belle gilding wax just to give them a little bit of shine. And since Gilding Wax is an oil-based product, I can put it on and walk away. No need to seal that gilding wax at all. I put all the original hardware back on the piece and she is done. My sweet little Daisy secretary is beautiful. Do you love it? This is a one-day flip, y'all. You can paint your furniture in one day using Silk All-in-One Mineral Paint. So now that this look number 1 is finished, let's move on to look number 2. We are going to take off the hardware and start again. So what do you think? Super cute, right? Super cute, and I wanted to give a one-color look to a piece that would give me the ability to show you how one small product can change an entire look of a piece of furniture, which is crazy because now it looks actually a little bit modern, a little bit boho. But hold up, because we're going to take it to another level. Remember, this is the piece that I'm going to add the Bohemian Dreams transfer on. Here comes my puppy. Wouldn't be a video without a dog in it. So let's go open this up together, sit on the floor, and see how we're going to place this on the project. And then once we lay it out, we're going to apply it together so that you can see how this looks one way and then this is going to look another way. Spy that boxer tail. You want to say hello to the family, Luna? You want to say hello? This is my girl. My girl. All right, let's get cracking. So I conveniently have a desk right here. Look at that. We're going to open this together. I'm going to show you exactly what's inside. This is a new packaging for the Bells and Whistles transfer, which actually really works great because it gives you a lot more storage. The other size was more in tubes and they were a little bit harder to store because they took up more space. So the ability to lay these flat is kind of a great new aspect that I'm looking forward to. So let's open up the Bohemian Dream transfer and see what's inside. Okay, so obviously here's your name, here's your size, and here's everything you need to know about this specific transfer. On the back side, it's going to show you all of the sheets inside, what you get. You get in this piece 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets that I'm going to cut up and lay across the drawer fronts. Let's see what they look like. So you have 2 of the same, which is perfect because if you're working on a piece like me that's a little bit longer than the sheet, you can cut it up, line it up, and put it straight across the front. So there are 2 sheets of this pattern right here, as well as 2 sheets of this pattern right here. This at the bottom is not really metallic, it's more like a mustardy gold, maybe a little bit of mojave, a little brown, kind of burnt umber, and then this almost looks like silver. When you take a transfer and you peel off this top piece, this is the piece that you're going to use and apply to your furniture. The back is sticky, so that's the part you want to be a little bit more fragile with. You don't want to mess around and like let the wind take it. So be gentle and be careful. Keep this backing sheet on until you're ready to go. So also inside of this should be a burnishing stick, which, hello, it's right there. It says Dixie Belle right on it. and an instruction sheet. And if you haven't used transfers before, I actually have a back to basics video that shows you all about transfers, how to apply them, how to use them, how to cut them up. You can layer them, you can seal them, all of the things over there in Back to Basics series here on my channel. Since this piece was not sealed, remember we use silk paint. All I need to do is take off the hardware and we are ready to apply our transfer. Okay, so now I've taken the hardware off. Since this piece was painted in silk Alamo mineral paint, it means that I didn't need to seal it, right? Because silk Alamo mineral paint has that built-in top coat. So I finished it and I walked away, and that was a couple days ago, and now I'm ready to do a transfer. So when you have a transfer like this that you're going to be using parts of, right? So I'm going to be using part, and then there's going to be another part here. I like to use tape to tape it up so that I can really get a good idea of how it's going to go. What I need to figure out from this part of the transfer is what pattern is going to go where. I do think that the boldest part, which is kind of this, hi Stella, puppy dog, other puppy dog. I feel like the boldest part should be at the bottom, right? So I think what I'm going to do is cut like each section with my scissors, and then when I cut each section, it'll be easier to kind of use it and lay it straight across, if that makes sense. So I'm going to put you on fast motion, and we're going to cut it up and get ready to apply it to this piece. This transfer is kind of neat because you can choose what parts you want to use and how you want to stack them. I came in with my blue painter's tape and kind of laid out a pattern. This does help me visually plan a piece and make sure I have enough of the transfer to get across the entire piece. This bells and whistles transfer is actually very easy to apply. When applying a transfer, all you need to do is peel off that white backing, lay it down onto your piece, and use the enclosed burnishing tool to push it down onto the painted surface. Remember, you don't have to push too hard. This kind of adhesive that's on the back of these transfers grabs onto the paint. So all you're doing is releasing it from the clear sheet that it is adhered to. You can see that I am applying it to the drawers that I have removed from the secretary. Sometimes you will find that putting a large or long piece of transfer down onto a piece, it's helpful if you can lay it on his back or take the drawer out just so that nothing slips and slides. I wanted to make sure these transfers lined up exactly. So I cut the edge very close to where they are going to attach with the plastic part of the paper. So really, that's all there is to it. Just sit on the floor and play with all the parts until you get them down where they belong. I really like the feel of this transfer. It's very bohemian, very kind of Mediterranean or Asian inspired. I don't know, there's something really pretty about the colors and the style of this one. You just saw my piece of transfer fall on the floor. That's okay because the backing was still on. That white backing keeps your transfer safe. It's in a more fragile state when you take off that white backing like you see me doing it. You really have to be careful to line up your details before you push it down, because once you press that transfer down onto your painted surface, that is where it's going to live. There's no peeling it back, there's no moving it around. That adhesive backing is going to stick it down onto your piece. You can use that enclosed tool to burnish it down, and I like to use my fingernails on the edges just to really make sure that it's gripped and grabbed around any corners that might be there. Don't forget to add some detail to the interior of your piece. It's always fun to open a drawer or open up this drop-down desk and see something fun inside. So this transfer I think is going to be very popular. Because there's so many parts to it, I think that you are going to take one transfer, 4 sheets, and you can probably use it on many, many different projects. But for me, I wanted to use the entire transfer on one piece to showcase everything that you can do with it. You can use a small knife to cut in around the edges to make sure that you can not have any cracks in your transfer when you open and close the drawers or any little doors. But once you're done, you're done. All you need to do is seal it with a little bit of wax or clear coat. It's entirely up to you. So that's it, friends. One piece, two ways with a little bit of Dixie Belle paint and transfers. What do you think? Drop it in the comments below and tell me which one you prefer. I would love to hear your thoughts and views on this piece. Technically, this piece could be three ways. One piece unpainted, one piece painted, and one piece transfers. Which one do you like the best? Let me know.